Today, we're doing is making very clear to parents, to students, to educators, to staff, that this effort to get schools ready is moving forward every single day. We're throwing everything we got at it. And here is a pledge, putting this out today, back to school pledge.
You said I was going out of my mind.
Not going out of your mind. You're slowly and systematically being driven out of your mind.
Why?
So, yeah, I think schools have to open. We want to get our economy going.
Our goal is for September 10th to be the beginning of in-person instruction.
It's crazy for us to be talking about sending them back into unsafe school buildings under unsafe conditions, and we have not even provided them with the tools that they need to learn remotely as of yet.
We are profoundly connected to our school community. Nothing would make us happier than to be able to send them to school on September 10th. But safety measures have not nearly been met to afford us the risk, not only for our children, but for our beloved teachers and staff who we really care the world about.
We cannot be a school system that preaches equity, nor can we be a state that preaches culturally responsive and sustaining anything when we move forward willfully ignoring the data showing how COVID-19 has disproportionately affected our Black and Brown communities.
To wait on the feds is what I call smoke and mirrors. The governor and mayor may say that families have choices, but we know that some families do indeed have choice, and others, this choice becomes more difficult. They're left with no options, and due to the lack of support from our government. If we really cared, we'd make the ultra-rich pay their fair share. And actually, New York City leads the nation in income and wealth gap between the top 1% and bottom 99%.
It is out of control. We have reached a place where I can hardly believe that this endeavor is even continuing, because no one thinks that reopening our schools is a good idea, except for a very small number of people that seem to sit in an echo chamber and have fancy documents and spent a ton of money on creating plans, but then none of those plans are actually really happening on the ground.
Most of us on our CEC do not plan to send our children back to school. We don't believe the plan is comprehensive. And I just want to talk briefly as a scientist, because I'm a scientist, and I really want to know what other scientists you're speaking to. The concern is that around September and October, we have a whole population of people that are coming back into the city that have not been here all summer. And they come with different epidemic curves. We already know that there are districts across the city that have higher than a 3% incidence of COVID. And so in addition to that, we're going to have more folks coming back to the city, either from their vacation homes or from where they lived, college students, professors, that are going to increase the incidence. And so in general, we're already putting our population within the curve. So the fact that the mayor is saying that we have a 0.24% incidence right now is irrelevant to when we open schools.
If at the end of this meeting, after hearing students and teachers plead for a delayed opening or remote-only plan, you still choose to open school doors on September 10th, then it's clear that the Department of Education does not care about our lives, because unlike what the chancellor claims, you will choose to sacrifice the health of your staff. If we prioritize normalcy, we risk safety. And I refuse to risk the safety of any of my students. Otherwise, it truly will be game over for all of us.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance.
We work for the parents and the kids of New York City, and we owe it to them to get it right, and we will. So everyone is working together to make sure the PPEs are in place, the signage, the cleaning, the disinfecting, you name it. I saw the dedication of our educators throughout this crisis. I know people choose that profession because they love kids. And here's going to be a moment to bring back our schools.
Is this shit worth you losing your job? Because you bought to. Because you ain't got no reason.
I've been around this long enough to know that a lot of these conversations are really contentious And there are so many differing opinions. But what we heard tonight was almost a completely unified message. And that message is that our school buildings should not reopen on September 10th. And, you know, this is really all about safety. People just don't feel safe. You know, everybody is saying, I mean, 40,000 students, CEC members, you know, the movement of rank and file educators, the UFT, CSA, DC 37, the Nurses Association, Press NYC, city and state elected officials, everybody is calling to delay the reopening of these school buildings.